It's Dan from the Mike James Rock Show, and welcome back to CJ from Diarda's Murder.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Well, we haven't caught up with yourself since Download a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But we did touch base with another band member when you guys played Cardiff back along.
Yeah.
Which I understand that you may have eaten some fruit that at that show that then also wanted to be part of the stage show and came out onto the...
Oh, fuck, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I do throw up sometimes. Generally, it's not like from the stomach, it's from the throat, from the chest, but that show, yeah, I did throw up. It's just like I put everything on the line every night on stage, and sometimes it's pretty brutal, and then it comes out, you know.
Yep, that's why I wanted to actually bring it up, because we were sat there just going, is there nothing that can stop you actually getting to the mic? And you came back in just in time for the vocals to start again, and it was nuts. I
choked on my hair on the second show of this tour. I went all the way down my throat, and I was pulling out my hair. It was covered in like throat fluid, and I was just coughing up bile like from my stomach and my throat. But I still made it to get back to the mic and keep singing. So I did a tour years ago with Glandular Fever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just if my voice goes, like, kind of, I can't talk, if I get like strep throat or laryngitis and I can't even make a sound.
Yeah.
That's when I'm just like in the bus, in bed and I don't talk, I don't do anything, I don't go outside, I don't smoke, I don't do anything until my voice is back, which can last 4 or 5 days, which sucks, but it's part and parcel. Like I get it a lot in Europe and America in the cold months.
I was going to say temperature changes.
Yeah, I'm not used to the cold weather. It doesn't matter how long we've been doing this for. Where I come from, it's fucking hot as hell. So, to be living in a cold climate, getting those sort of viruses of the vocal cords is the only thing. Like, if I get like, bronchitis and I'm coughing a lot, I've played with bronchitis, I can do all of that, but once it hits my larynx or the throat, then it's game over.
I was going to say, because particularly on Human Target, you're doing some real full-bodied screaming throughout a lot of the songs.
It's like a very versatile, vocally driven record. So there's stuff I've never done on a record on Human Target.
Yeah.
It's still mixed in with all the stuff I usually do. So it's very demanding vocally. Yeah.
I can imagine. And now, if remembering, it was around the end of July that Human Target came out last year.
Yeah.
Is it settling in with all the changes now? Are you finding the pace a little bit? Because most people we speak to, it's about the first 6 months, they're like, you're thinking loads, and then it starts going into muscle memory, you start getting used to it.
Sure, yeah. So on this tour, we're playing 2 songs off Human Target that we haven't played before. And they're 2 songs that I really, really like, and one is very personal to me, so I've been wanting to play it for a long time, and I think because the song is halfly based on me and my history with drugs. It's like the first time I played it was about 6 days ago in pre-production, and I destroyed it. I just killed it straight away. It's because it's, me and Andy wrote it together. He wrote it about me, and then I wrote about from my eyes, and he wrote it from his eyes looking at me. Yeah. So, that song just, it's so, like last night when we played it, I nearly cried.
Understandable.
It's like, it was, when I was on stage, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, no one wants to see me cry.
I don't think anybody wants to see it cry, but I've noticed the change in the last 5 years of the industry with sort of what happened with Paul Gray and Corey not being able to make it through a show without crying.
Yeah.
You got Sam Carter of Architects that did the Tom tour, and every day was up there showing it. I think there's an understanding now, though, if a song is that powerful and you do end up getting welled up, people actually sort of understand why it's happening these days.
Oh, sure. With Sammy and that, they lost one of their best friends. That person is no longer on the planet. I feel that they have the right to cry. Me, it's just like looking back on my past and decisions that I had made and lifestyle that I lived, and I don't think that is anything like what they went through.
Fair.
So if I had written a song or something about one of my friends that's no longer with us, sure, I feel like I'd have every reason to cry, but I feel for me it's like, it's it shouldn't be enough to make me cry. But something just happened last night, and like it may never happen again. But
fair.
You know, last night I don't know. I was playing really well last night. I was really in the zone, and maybe I just overthought the song. My brain just is functioning like at such a fast pace. I just had flashbacks of like, you know, OD'ing on cocaine and stuff like that, and I'm like, fuck, man, like, and then I was just really happy that I'm still alive.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably what, you know, brought the tears on a little bit, and then I just pulled my shit together and continue to play.
I imagine in some ways, given the nature of it, though, it's quite cathartic being able to get some of the anger out about addiction, because thy art is, you know, reasonably heavy, reasonably angry, and I can imagine that there's a certain element of that where it helps you be able to deal with everything the song was written about, by being able to destroy a stage with those feelings.
Oh, definitely, and you know, I think that's the best thing about Human Target for me, is that it touches on things that we're very passionate about, that are very real and very close to us, where most of our records is about like very political driven or very like anti-religious or anti-establishment, which is, you know, most people share those same views as us. I think with Human Target it's a little bit more personal. You sure we have the songs there that are, you know, open to everybody, but you know, Chemical Christ in particular, that's the one that's you know, more so about me, written by me and written about me by others. So that was the one. Like, and I've been wanting to play that song the whole time after we recorded the record. And
was that like the main one you wanted to get out?
Yeah. Because it was so driven to me. But then also Eternal Suffering, which is the 2 new songs that we're playing on this tour as well.
Okay.
We are playing other songs off the record, but the Eternal Suffering and Chemical Christ are the 2 new ones that we haven't played for anyone ever. This is the first time we're playing it for people.
And are you finding that, because I imagine you guys have got almost like a Slayer-like dedicated fan base.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And they probably know what the song is all about, because they would have been the ones poring over the lyrics and everything like that. Are you getting like a good response last night when you played it from the crowd as well?
Yeah, I think Eternal Suffering is like more like people are getting into it. And I think with Chemical Christ, it's probably a combination of like we have like the like video screens and stuff on stage.
Nice.
So people are like looking at the content that we've built to represent each song, and then the song's quite powerful. So, you know, I think most people out there, you know, are on drugs, you know, so and I think there's a lot of people out there that have had massive problems with drugs. So I think once they figure out what the song's about, and then, you know, they see what's on the screens, and then they're listening to what I'm saying, then they just kind of sit there, and it's kind of like the when we built this set, when we finish it, the set isn't designed to make you feel like empowered and be like, yes. It's like you should feel fucking hollow.
Yeah.
Like when we walk off stage for the end of the night, you should like seriously think about your fucking life.
That's good.
You know, so we don't want everyone to go, yeah, that was the best concert ever. Like people are like walking out going, fuck. Like, you know, when you watch a movie that just like hits you and you're just like, fuck, man.
I think that's actually quite like an interesting thing to do with where thy art has got to, because you guys have exploded over the last couple of years. I mean, you've had viral videos from Bloodstock and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but
fucking hell.
You guys are using that like sort of presence within the industry, and also, like I said, I'm quite fascinated by thy art's fan base. Because it is that almost Slayer level of dedication. Is I imagine that they're probably really enjoying what you guys are doing with your fame by going, no, use our music to take a look at yourself. We've managed to do this with addiction and various other things.
Definitely.
Not holding yourself up as an example, just going, you know, because I really relate to ex-addiction songs, because I've had addictions in my past.
Yeah.
And I do this as part of my way of distracting myself from going down those same pathways and doing the same things, which is a bit difficult because I go to festivals a lot. And
yes.
I don't know if you notice there's drugs at festivals.
Yeah. Dude, even like guys like that have known that I've been clean for a long time now. They're still like, oh, you know, fucking, what are you doing after the show? I'm like, can I have a shower and just eat, and then probably watch Sopranos or play FIFA? And they're like, oh, well, I've got this shit. Come on the bus, and we'll, you know, I didn't get to see you often. I'm like, yeah, I don't do that shit anymore. And they're like, nah, come on, how often do I see you? I'm like, how often do I have that said to me? Every fucking night.
Yeah.
You know, I see someone, a friend in a different city or a different country, that happens to me every night. It might only happen to you twice or 3 times a year, but for me, it's every fucking night.
And
that's where you spiral out of control, you know.
100%.
Like, you got to catch up with somewhere else in the world every single night. And then it's cool for them to do it that 2 or 3 nights a year, but it turns out to be 200, 250 nights a year for us.
Yeah, no.
And, I got 2 businesses, a family, a wife, a little baby. I've got things and people that like rely on me and people that depend on me to make good decisions. And, now that my son is here, like nothing in this world matters anymore. Everything I do is for him.
It's reasons to stay sober. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want him to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants to as he gets older. And if I work my ass off, I'm hoping that I can give him that opportunity to do whatever the fuck it is that he wants to do.
That's amazing.
And he doesn't have to work. I don't want him to work. Whatever he does for a career, it's because he loves it. If he makes $200 a week, but he loves his fucking job, that's it. I don't give a fuck. Whatever he wants to do, as long as he's not hurting himself or hurting others, then whatever my son wants to do, I want to be able to give that to him.
Yeah, I am loving this about sort of people like yourself at the moment, where we're being much more open, I think, especially in the interview forum, which I do a lot, about the reasons of doing stuff, and living for your family, living for your kids. That is something which, I think maybe younger fans may not be able to relate to as much.
No, definitely.
But for people like me, mid-30s, that still want to go to gigs, still like the same type of music that we always did, it's lovely that my idols are now living sort of the same lifestyle that I am, and going, no, there's reasons out there to do this sober, to go out and kick it sober. You don't have to party all the time. And I think it's great. The more we talk about it, the more people are going to feel comforted coming to a gig and staying sober, being there for the music. And
that's right.
Because we get it at festivals, is a group of people come to one of the 20 festivals we do a year, and they're like, why are you not getting drunk? It's like, well, if you see me on camera hungover, I am a state. But also, my brain can't take it anymore. Like, I don't want to take a buttload of stuff anymore. I want to go to bed early. And like half the time, like we worked out that even if we're like mangled off our faces, we're still in bed at the same time, still doing the same things. So I'm like, well, I may as well just do sober, and then I can actually remember the night I've had, remember the bands I've seen.
Like, don't get me wrong, I had the fucking best time, like, for like 10, 15 years, like, just doing so much drugs, like, stupid amounts of drugs. People out there think it's like it's almost like a sport now when you see people, I did fucking 10 lines of cocaine, and people, especially in Australia, they brag about how much drugs they can do. And even when I'm listening to them talk about it, I'm like, dude, like, what you just said you did in a night, I did in the first 10 minutes. Like, I was like fucking stupid, man.
Fiend.
Like, I was doing like 4 grams in like fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I'd start off by splitting a gram bag in 3 lines, and that's how I'd start the night. And they'd go, I'd come off stage, boom, 1 line, and then take my shirt off and get ready to have a shower, boom, 2nd line, have the shower, come back out, boom, 3rd line. There's a gram bag done in like 15 minutes, and then that was just me going, all right, yeah, I'm ready now. Let's do this.
The startup, as
it's just like having a shot to start drinking for the night. That's bad, So.
To be fair, my large addiction was actually drinking, and I would drink like have a couple of shots of vodka in the morning just to get out of bed, because I didn't want to think, and that was the main thing behind my addiction. Was not.
Mine's the same.
Yeah.
Just switch my brain off. Yeah, exactly the same.
Whereas I'm a bit like you, I really enjoy now being able to, deal with everything that's in my life and have the brain space to actually go, no, I've got to do 20 different things in the next hour, but because I'm not screwed off my twat,
that's right,
I can actually get them done in an hour. So.
That's right. Being busy and therapy helped me a lot too, but like, my life is so fucking busy, and outside of the band my life is even more insanely busy, and then you throw the band life in that mix as well, and it just is amplified. Like, the people that work for me at my tattoo studio, they just like, when they hear customers or other artists or whatever at our shop complain, this week's just been real flat out, they just look at me and like, this guy thinks their life's fucking busy. You think you got a fucking problem? Talk to him. Talk about him. He'll tell you busy. Like, and I'm like, nah, fuck it, don't worry about it. But it is busy, man. But I'm really lucky. I'm very fortunate to be alive. I'm very fortunate to be in a band that's doing really well. very fortunate to be with the guys in the band, where we've all taken a back seat on the partying, and the band's doing really well. It's successful, and everything I do in my life is because I choose to do it, you know, and everything in my life is extremely enjoyable for me. So I'm one of the lucky ones that ended up getting everything he wanted in life.
Yeah.
You know, the family, the baby, the wife, the shop, the band, everything. But, you know, people, when they talk to me about it, they always refer to it as like, oh, you're so lucky.
And it sounds like you're hard working as well.
It is, and it's like there's no fucking luck with it at all. Like, you think like I just woke up and I got a fucking email saying, "Hey, you've just won a fucking tattoo studio and a successful band and an ex-supermodel wife," and like I didn't win that shit. Like, I worked my fucking ass off.
Grafting.
You know, there was like fucking 15 years where like we were hemorrhaging money from music. Like I couldn't get welfare payments because I was overseas touring. I couldn't get a job because I was always touring, so I sold drugs to make ends meet, and it was the only thing that I could think of to make money, and it's the only thing I could do. So you know, there was a lot of really, really hard years, financially, mentally, physically, everything, emotionally, everything. So it's like I sacrificed my whole life to possibly not have anything that I have today.
Yeah.
You know, there is a big chance that I could have had none of this. No success in music, no wife, no child, no shop, none of that shit. But like, I worked my fucking ass off, and there's one thing that really irritates me when they tell people, even not so much to me, but to other guys in bands, like, "Oh, you're so lucky to be in a big band." It's not fucking luck. You don't. This ain't like a lottery. You don't buy a $5 ticket and then you win. Oh fuck, my band's gonna be big. It's not that.
No, you got to graft and graft.
Oh,
and
hard, man.
Even when people think that you've broken it big,
Yeah.
most of the bands we speak to in 2020 are working 10-hour days when they're on tour, working on different businesses as you do, and trying to get the money into the band so that the tour can continue.
Well, that's right. Like, the production we got on this tour is astronomical.
Yeah.
So it's like, we will hemorrhage money on this tour, but we're giving it all back to the fans. We want the fans to see that we appreciate them coming out and watching us play, and you know, obviously, as it's a strategic business move to show people that we can put on more than just a show with a set of lights. You know, so we really want to give back to our fans and give them the most intense experience from us as we can.
Amazing. Because we got other ones booked with the bands that you're on tour with. As much as I really want this conversation to continue, because it's almost like interview crack for me. I love.
We should just keep going. Who is it with? Is it with Fit or Carnifex?
Both.
That's cool. They'll wait. They're my friends. That's cool. I understand. Especially if it's with Pat from Fit. He'll be sweet. He'll understand.
We shall keep talking to until they turn up. But
he's Pat's here now, so he'll be alright. We can just get Pat to roll in on his with us if you want.
Yeah, I mean...
You can do the separate one with him after, but Pat wants to sit on this. It's cool.
I have another interview over there too.
No, they were saying that we're going to cut out my interview short because of you. And I said, no, just bring him in on mine, and then he can do a separet one later anyway.
Well, I have to do one over there, so then I can come do one over here with you, and then I can come do you later.
Okay, I'm down.
I like that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. It gets real weird on the roads.
It does. We went juice shopping and vinyl shopping together earlier, so we've had a really good day. I fucking spent way too much money on vinyl and not enough money on juice.
Those shots of ginger were wild.
Dude, I feel great.
I feel awesome. And you would never imagine that you would take two guys on a tour bus and say, what makes your day? What's your party? A shot of turmeric, a shot of ginger, and some kind of mixed juice and lunch. That's my wild partying.
We're hoping all the bars at venues like this, serving beer and cocktails, they'd have a bar just for me and Pat where we can get like turmeric and ginger shots and like fucking like, you know, cold pressed fucking juices and stuff. Because me and Pat don't drink. So
no drinking, coffee and juice. That's
and that fucking place. If you're from fucking Bristol, you have to go and check out Full Court
Press.
Full Court Press coffee. Best coffee for sure.
Really?
Yeah, the dude like ran like 400 meters because Pat forgot the beans at the counter. So this dude's like running down the street, this bag of beans. He's the fucking nicest dude, and their coffee is like legit amazing.
Yeah, I had just a simple latte, and I don't put any sweetener in or anything, but it was sweet and it tasted like licorice and berries. It was the craziest thing I've ever
It was
had.
nuts.
It was wonderful.
Mike's going to be upset because I'm going to have to hunt this. Like on the coffee.
Dude, it's like fucking like a 3-minute walk from here.
Amazing.
It's so good.
I have a gentleman waiting for me to do that over there. So you guys do this over here, and I'll go over there, and then I'll come back and I'll see you.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. I love you, CJ.
That was it, man.
So I'm going to guess it's a friendly tour in that case.
Yeah, but like Fit have been brothers of ours for like 8 years, 9 years. First time we went to America was the first time that we did our European tour, and so we did a first European tour like 2012, 2011, I think, and then we went straight from that tour to America to record Hate. And then that's when we met Pat and the Fit guys, and then we've just been like bros ever since. So it's really cool. We get to be with Fit for like the next 4.5 months across Europe and UK, and then we have a week and a half off. Then we do America and Canada. Then we have 4 weeks off, and then we do Australia together as well.
And I imagine from what we were talking about earlier in the interview, it's actually pretty awesome to have like a sober companion that you can go get shots of turmeric and gin.
Yeah. Well, you know, most of our band now is sober as well. I think there's only like 2 dudes in our camp that drink, and I think it's probably the same in Fit as well. So, you know, I think we're a bit all older as well.
We know those feels because Mike, the one behind the camera right now, actually went teetotal on drinking, and it's had the effect on me that I'll have like maybe 1 or 2 drinks on a night, and that's it. And I don't like not having a drinking buddy and somebody that's always encouraging you to get fucked up. Actually really does help, because instead he's like, no, you'll be fine sober. We'll just do sober buddies. And over the last couple of years, it has turned into we don't drink at festivals, barely drink at gigs, or anything like that. Admittedly, I drive everywhere, and I'm zero tolerance on drink driving.
Yeah.
So a lot of our stuff was zero drinking anyway. But we just, like I say, we enjoy being able to remember what we did the night before.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've, like yourself, had some epic stories of how much we drunk and taken and all that sort of stuff. But also, like I said, one of the vanity reasons was you start looking like you take a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
When you get to your 30s. So,
I've always looked older, but I know the drugs definitely make me look far older than ever. So, you know, I feel so much better. I sleep. I go to bed before anyone on the tour, and I wake up before anyone. I think like I sleep really well, but I can't sleep for more than 7 hours. My body just wakes up and it's like, all right, go and do shit.
Yeah.
You gotta go to work. Like the other day, I rolled out of the bunk and I went, I gotta feed the baby. And I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm in fucking Europe. Like, my baby's not here. I'm so used to waking up at 6:30 with a screaming child, and he's got shit in his nappy and he needs a bottle, and that's me off tour, changing nappies, making baby bottles.
Well, if you get a band member that does get himself into some like bad stay the night before, at least you'll roll out, you know, give him a feed.
Dude, I'll be well, so I've got him covered.
Fantastic. Well, like I said, I'll wrap it up there, because otherwise I will just babble to you for like the next half an hour about addiction.
Yeah.
But maybe next time I'm in the same place, we'll do a podcast so we don't have to do a limited like sort of 5-10 minute thing.
Yeah, sure.
Get into it a bit more.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, dude.
No worries, brother.
Wasn't the interview expecting, but definitely the one I wanted.
Mate,
So,
perfect.
Excellent. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to the My James Rock Show.